Oh man, this is bad. This is just really bad. I shouldn't have gone to that house. I shouldn't have taken that book. Now the ghost of Sarah Bell is just gonna kill me just like in the book! No! If I just sit here and let this ghost kill me, then I'm no better than those cowards and commies. And besides, I got this to take you down. Oh, God damn it! Back in the 80s, if you were lucky enough, you got to read Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. A series of short stories that absolutely terrified kids with not only their gruesome tales, but fantastic illustrations. And now at last, these stories have been brought to the big screen in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Now, creatively, they didn't actually adapt a single story or go for an anthology approach. Rather, they told an original story, but used the actual stories as springboards to introduce various plot elements and monsters, as well as making them the real star of the film. The actual story actually kind of feels a bit like Stranger Things if it took place in the 80s, and wasn't afraid to be just straight up pure horror without any of the nostalgia attached to it. And with that being said, this movie is creepy. It is tense. While I would have preferred a version that actually had some blood, some gore, something that would get an MA 15+ rating, this version is so much like The Conjuring in all the right ways, except it's still tame enough for kids to enjoy. And the characters, or should I say the actors playing the original characters in the story, that act as the framing device for all the monsters, they're all great! They give awesome performances. In particular, I love the kid playing this character, Augie. I was actually sad when he got taken away by the toeless corpse. I actually was sad for him. But of course, as I said, the real stars of this movie are not the characters, it's the stories from the actual books. And they're introduced through a little legend of Sarah Bellows, a poor girl who was locked away by her family but whispered her stories to children through a wall. And this creates an awesome meta-narrative that introduces the monsters from the books, like the toeless corpse, Horace, or I can't remember the name of the scarecrow, and the lanky man. And these all look great. They're a nice little combination of practical effects and CGI, and only in one scene did the CGI actually look like crap. The rest of the time, 100% believable, I swear. And perhaps the biggest strength this movie has is that it's basically the Goosebumps movie, but better, because it's not afraid to be gruesome. It's not afraid to include things that the Goosebumps film clearly omitted. In that respect, it's also stylish and reminds me of horror films from the 60s, the era it's set in. I got serious vibes from the early horror films of James Wan that just feel like they're evoking films like the Amityville Horror. The only complaint I have with this movie is that I wish we saw more of the stories. And I don't mean I wish they adapted particular stories from the books, but I wish that we actually got to see something kind of like the Goosebumps movie, where all these different monsters appeared and were plaguing people, rather than just one at a time. But what we do get is genuinely scary and awesome, and an absolute treat for those who got to read the books. Regardless of whether or not you've heard of the source material, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is a fantastic movie that both adults and kids can watch, enjoy, and scream in horror at. If you haven't heard of it, or if you haven't heard of the property at all, give this movie a look. You are not going to regret it. Trust me.
Well, that's absolutely awesome. It was nice to finally get this done. Hope you guys enjoyed the review, and let me tell you, it was awesome to finally check this movie out. Can't say the same thing about the next movie I've reviewed, Charlie's Angels, but I can definitely say the same thing about the movie after it, Ford vs Ferrari. I was actually surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And for game reviews this month, to cap out the year, I'm taking a look at Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. Got all that more coming up, so please, like usual, stick around.